Welcome everyone to the next part of Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton's gold
statue. You're recording this in the middle of the night, Jovah?
Yeah,
well,
to
be fair, I do that too. What's wrong with that?
It was one of those.
I'm managing to have enough of a sleep schedule to make it when you don't fall asleep on that.
Okay. One thing to keep in mind: this is an Australian 2DS capture card. I'm not sure if I set the time to line up with my time proper.
There's that too. Yeah. I mean, I'm a very nightly. You guys already know I'm a very nightly person, so that would be how I do it anyway. So.
For all I know, I recorded this in the morning, and that's just what the clock says on it. Go on, Troy.
All right, Sir Belduke's letter. Go on.
All right. That night, probably about 1 a.m., I made a delivery to Sir Belduke.
Yeah, speaking of the night.
And at 1
don't
a.m.,
sleep.
no less.
Yeah, Sir Belduke was really happy about it. He said, "Go away, I'm trying to sleep."
He was writing a letter at the time. I'll be ready soon, so come pick it up tomorrow at a decent time in the morning. That's what he said.
Now go away.
What? Who doesn't like
me
getting their
alone.
mail at 1 a.m. rung in?
I don't know, some people like eating Krabby Patties at 3 in the morning.
I left to study and wished the butler a good night. Then I went home.
And then I found out, oh shit, I missed 2 deliveries.
I went there again the next morning. As promised, Sir Belduke was... Well, anyway, I looked for the letter. I just stepped around the dead body in the middle of the room.
And I went to look for a letter, and then I reported it to the police.
Excuse me, coming through.
Nice to see you dedicated to your duties.
Dedicated.
Then that guy went out like a light on the couch. I got a little scared, so I left as soon as I found the letter. I didn't think to check on him or anything.
No woman
I have
ever
a job
does.
to do, you see.
Yeah, I'm a post lady, not a doctor. I see. So you witnessed the victim write the letter.
That doesn't mean I killed him, by the way.
Well,
Why did you say that unprompted?
Yeah, nobody was even implying that. Hey, Miss Mailer, people who aren't full of shit very rarely feel the need to assure us that they're not full of shit. Just saying.
I wouldn't say witness. That sounds so legal. The sheets of parchment were on his desk, though. See, she's very suspicious.
Oh boy.
And they were covered in writing, margin to margin.
I forgot, Jovah.
Court is adjourned.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
actually in this trial or later in the game for an optional conversation that we know the origin story for Letty? But you don't know what the letter was about.
Ah, God, please stop screaming in my ears.
Telling you would be a breach of our privacy policy.
This is a
Sir
court.
Bezos doesn't
There is-
like breach of privacy policy.
This is a courtroom. There is no privacy policy.
I can't reveal its contents or who it was addressed to.
I do not envy whoever
If you,
becomes
do
her.
not, if you do not tell the court, you will be addressed to prison.
I do not envy that whoever will eventually, if at all, becomes her life partner. Can you imagine waking up with her saying, "Son"? Jesus fucking.
Hopefully it will
Who
work
needs
as-
an alarm clock?
I was about to say.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Frankly, I didn't get close enough to Sir Belduke's desk, I mean, so I couldn't make out what he was writing.
Listen, honey, if we're gonna make this relationship work, you need to stop yelling. Can you do that?
Can you wake up on time then?
Ooh.
In any case, where did you find the letter the morning after the victim was found dead?
Oh, come on, honey. Relationships are all about, finding a good balance. Go on.
On a shelf next to his desk in a small letterbox.
The word letterbox is in red. I better make a note of this.
Letterbox.
A box for letters.
That's
Yes.
the vent.
Ah, yes, right there, next to his head. I was a teeny tiny bit scared, though, coming so close to a dead man.
Yeah, the coach just
Right,
springs
what
to
did
life.
you think he was going to do? Jump up and scare you?
grabs it by the throat.
So that's where she took the letter from. It was right next to the corpse. Huh, you know, now that I think about it, that ain't goal.
Now that the circumstances are somewhat more clear, we shall proceed to the cross-examination.
Alright, here's where the fun begins.
And stop drinking! You're in court!
Like that's ever stopped anyone. Hold it!
It's funny you say that right as I take a sip of my coffee.
It's pretty late to be making a delivery.
Look, he's an alchemist. He gets lots of strange packages. That's why.
Please, do not be suspicious of this strangely
I got
body-shaped package.
Hang on a minute. How do you know what's in the packages? I thought you don't look.
Well,
maybe there's a declaration system, you know, like,
maybe.
they even have one back then? I don't know.
I mean, they got a
He'd often
privacy
order
policy.
various implements from the glass craftsman, or have someone gather wild herbs for him. He usually carried out his experiments at night, so yeah, he often needed items delivered in the middle of the night.
Fair enough.
Emeer,
I
what are
don't
you
sleep at
doing
all.
Over there?
I was gonna say, stop moving!
Being, as usual, a complete waste of social presence.
Did Sir
I get the
Belduke
feeling
seem at
that
all
she-
different from normal when you saw him that night?
Sure, I get the feeling her body's way too full of caffeine for her to even sleep. So
Yeah.
Does caffeine even exist in this time? Or at least, you know, the uses?
is that like coffee grains maybe?
I think it was about 3 days before Sir Belduke's death. I mean, that lightning strike.
Hang on! Excuse me, Miss Grayrl. What? What is it? Did anything in Miss Mailer's statement catch your attention? Well, just the lightning strike. Master Belduke did certainly change following that event.
It was a
Yeah,
dark and stormy night.
Literally.
I wonder why it affected him so much.
Yeah, this is consistent with what you heard so far, at least.
Maybe he's
Alchemist and a sudden appearance of an old bell tower.
maybe what happened was like in the NES game, he got struck by lightning and turned into Mr. Hyde.
Could there be some sort of connection between them? Anyway, it looks like Grayrl is as much in the dark about this as I am.
Uh-huh.
By the way, that strange lightning strike was not the result of witchcraft. Surprisingly, I know, right?
I see. Well then,
See, we don't blame everything that happens in this town on witches.
no, we only blame like 99% of things on them.
You saw the letter he was writing.
I spilt the milk, must have been a witch. I told you before, there were sheets of parchment with writing on them on his desk.
Also, no, it was Mary who stole it again.
I had a very quick look. There were so many sheets. That letter must have been very long. Practically a novel, even.
Then how can you explain the letter being blank now?
Someone thought it would be really funny to. Oh
Ah,
God!
you know, that's a good point. Let me check her voice actress in the meantime.
That's just it. That's what I'd like to know, too. That's what I'd like to know as well.
The witness.
My hearing! It's gone! Oh wait, now it's back. I like how they include bits to show when Phoenix has lost his hearing due to her.
I think she's actually one of the uncredited ones.
She's
Sit
always
down,
by an
please.
actress, that's all we know.
Hold on, let me check.
He was holding a pen when I arrived with the delivery, so he was in the middle of writing. Sorry, go on, Peter.
Probably one of the usual Nintendo of Europe regulars.
Depends.
And also, he told me to pick up the letter the next morning.
Remember, this was translated by the same team that did that localized Xenoblade Chronicles. So
Uh-huh.
And then you left his study. I can tell who
Hold it!
is actually voiced by Philip Alexander.
But wait a minute! When you say the butler, you mean,
Charles? Jeeves?
Jeeves, yeah, that's the usual name.
Miss Grail, of course. She was in the corridor carrying a tray.
Hang on! Miss Grail, I'd like to ask you something. Oh, certainly. What is it?
What kind of poison were you carrying?
Yeah, was it shaken or stirred? You stated previously that you excused yourself and left Sir Belduke's study shortly after 1 o'clock a.m.
It's like that bit in The Simpsons where they reenact, where they're telling a story and they reenact something, and then the king was like, "Hey, I didn't use that much poison."
Is that the same that happened with Furio Tigre, Bo?
More so he got tricked into identifying
The bottle.
Yeah. However, according to Miss Miller's testimony, the two of you came across each other while you were waiting outside the room. Why didn't you mention that until now?
Because I don't want to get burned.
I mean, fair enough. But...
And I don't want to be found out to be an accomplice.
That's because... Oh, bother. I apologize. I'm afraid I completely forgot to mention it.
You're full of shit.
Convenient.
You forgot?
Yes, a simple mistake. Miss Miller often comes with deliveries during the night. I did see her that night as well, but I didn't think much of it, as it's nothing unusual.
Does Miller work 24/7? Does she ever actually not mail?
I think we've asked this before. Like, it seems that way.
How does she eat?
On the go?
Well, that kind of thing
probably
can happen.
on the go.
Human memory is in no way perfect.
On the contrary, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Phoenix, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. Human memory is not perfect.
However, there's one thing Miss Grail forgot to mention.
You're not familiar with us Brits, Phoenix.
What is it?
I'd like you to recall what Miss Mailer said about having met Miss Grail that night.
You see, Phoenix, when you're dealing with a Brit, just immediately assume that they forgot the last conversation. It's safer that way. Yeah, we already read this.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, okay, so she mails letters 24/7.
Well, Miss Grail, apparently you were carrying a tray at the time.
Maybe she does food delivery as well. And just eats that.
What do you have to say about that?
I'm a fucking butler. Of course I carry a tray.
The tray was bare or something, like, I don't know.
Jean Grail, I believe you should add that to your testimony. A butler carrying a tray? Shocking!
Unorthodox.
As you wish, my lord.
It's still better than the whole, he's a bellboy. There's no reason for him not to be carrying anything, even though there is.
Okay, to be fair, the point of that contradiction in Farewell My Turnabout is that Phoenix is legit desperate and just trying to pad out the trial because, Maya's captured and all that.
I get that, Jovah. It's just at the point that bellboys never at all are empty-handed ever. That's stupid. I'm sorry.
To be fair, the other characters kind of point out how he's reaching with that one as well.
I guess.
When Master's experiments continued into late hours, he would always have some sleeping medication to ward off his sleepiness. What kind of juice? Tomato juice.
Tomato jam.
That's not...
Hang on!
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, mister.
Mister! Ah! I know nothing about it! Nothing! Nothing at all!
Let me get drunk in peace, damn it!
In a courtroom, no less.
We need to get the Baba Yokai to come here and get to spill the beans.
Can we just push him in the fire?
Witness, what have you done this time?
Hey, I think I can notice some gray hair starting to grow on Barnum's head.
That is
Don't give me that scary look, Inquisitor Barnum. I was only just a little bit. Seriously, hardly anything at all.
Can we
even
just
Barnum.
expel this person?
What are you talking about? Huh? What do you think I'm talking about? The juice! The tomato juice, of course!
Tomato.
You're British.
The tomato juice.
Oh, you didn't. Surely even you wouldn't.
How low can
Honey,
you
is just sick
go?
of everyone's shit at this point.
Well, like I told you before, I think I sort of overdid it a bit the previous night.
A bit.
A bit.
Just a bit. When I woke up, me head was pounding. That's why I went to see the alchemist. See if he had some medicaments to help me over. But you know what happened. And when I was left alone in the alchemist's study, well...
I could make a really dirty joke right now, but I won't.
it kinda caught me eye. The bottle, I mean. Bottle, if you prefer.
Don't bottle.
No, it's still bottle.
Tomato juice.
Tomato. You're British as well, kind of.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Whatever.
Thought it
You
might
say
make
tomato.
thought it might help make the headache go away.
So you drank it? The juice found at the crime scene?
It was pretty
Well, why
disgusting.
shouldn't I? It's a drink, ain't it? What else you do with a drink? Poison
It
was a
people
crime
with it?
scene!
Oh my god, here's another dirty joke I could make right now about what he just said. Like, it's just like, I won't make them, but I will make a counter of how many dirty jokes I could have made. 2 right now.
And can you tell us where that bottle is now?
Come to think
In my
of it,
ass.
I don't remember seeing it at the crime scene.
It has been confiscated.
By me. Oh shit.
Confiscated?
Yeah, we already went through this, Phoenix.
As I mentioned
Yeah,
previously,
exactly.
the occult crime analysts confiscated all of Master's personal belongings from the crime scene.
Okay, how
The
about
reason
this?
was that he wouldn't. Is that so? Should take note of that bottle and add it to the court record.
Okay,
And
I
once
won't
it's
make-
not of use anymore, let's smash it onto Emeer's head.
Okay, you know what?
If
Fuck
we
it.
could
Okay,
find
I can-
it.
Sorry.
Yeah, so there I was, having a bit of juice when that girl came round.
Aye.
To tell you the truth,
You just stopped that Takumi just to assault my ears, didn't you, Takumi? Jesus Christ.
I don't quite remember what happened after that.
Wow, that tomato juice was so strong.
That's when he passed out, huh?
That's what we're calling it, huh?
British tomato juice really is alcoholic.
Maybe it was a Bloody Mary if we didn't even do it.
You know, fuck it, I'll just make it. Like, Emeer, here's the joke. Emeer walks into a sperm bank. There you go, there's the joke. You know what happens to that?
I'm not that
You know,
thirsty.
Pedro, unless there's a serious infection in urinal trait, I don't think that's supposed to be the natural color.
Yeah.
Find a way. He will find a way. Like,
I'm pretty sure semen's not supposed to be red, my dude. Like,
Maybe he walked into a blood bank then.
Yeah, let's go with that. Moving swiftly on.
He's secretly a vampire. He was helping me look for the whatever. He collapsed and his eyes rolled back. He wouldn't move.
Just Letty poking you with a stick.
Yeah.
probably wondered if he was dead. It almost
Or just very
sounds like
sleepy.
he died.
almost.
No such luck, unfortunately.
Damn!
What?
Drop that shit.
Wow!
Damn, okay.
Okay, are we still sure Miller didn't do it?
That horrible sound. I thought my ears would explode.
You're in no position to be whining about.
Maybe she's still a waitress, but she's the one that distributes the Italia Magicas all over the city.
That would actually be an interesting twist. Yep, not sure what came over me. Never happened to me before, sleeping like that. Remember, Pedro, it was Belduke who died, not Emeer. Now, if Emeer had been the one who died, then Letty would probably be the first prime suspect. No idea why. Oi, you guys, what do you think? Any ideas?
Don't talk to me.
I think it bears no relevance, and there you have my honest answer. Now fuck off.
And I think it's good that I wasn't there.
I don't want any part of this.
Oh,
Too much baggage. But the question is, why did he black out like that?
He was drunk.
I got no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not important.
Seems sober to me.
As sober as... a contradiction. Your Honor, I might have a clue as to why he lost consciousness.
You do?
Really? Do you work it out, Bluey?
Guy with beard, I thought he was the judge for a second. Well, here he is anyway. If that's the case, may the defense present some evidence.
Please.
Which piece of evidence shows why this man fell unconscious?
Thanks.
Take that! Ugh. Mister, I believe the reason you might have lost consciousness at this crime scene is in fact
You were completely shit-faced.
tied to a certain piece of evidence. But wasn't it just because, you know, I had a bit too much fun the night before?
Oh, there you go, Shoei. He seems to agree with you on the whole shit-faced thing.
But I don't know. It was because of this.
Oh, wait. So he was shit-faced.
The tomato juice?
Yes, drunk on tomato juice.
Yeah, there's a bit of a problem with that. You passed out right after drinking this juice. It's not nearly as strong as grape juice, mind you.
I remember that one making shit face about the guitar ninja.
Therefore, it's not unreasonable to assume that there's a direct connection between the two.
Tomato juice does not make people fall unconscious every night.
Exactly.
Depends on the quality of the tomato, Barnum.
Okay, that's been very rotten, I guess.
Yeah, he had it open for
Exactly.
weeks.
That's why something must have been added to the contents of that bottle.
It was actually a 100-year-old tomato.
Something like
Ugh.
a sophoric.
Soporific.
Soporific, I think. Yeah.
Yes. You mean sleep medicine?
Oh, yes. And if a soporific was mixed in with the tomato juice, that means Sir Belduke would have been unconscious at the time he was assailed.
Oh! Oh!
I'm just
I think
very
his
excited
Honor
about
is
this.
starting to get it.
Transforms into an owl.
How else am I supposed to say it? This sketch. Have another look.
Have a look.
The red liquid trickling down from the victim's mouth.
Yes.
It's proof that Sir Belduke must have drank the tomato juice.
Huh, I thought I was gonna have to point that out for the court. Thanks, Your Honor.
I failed to consider this.
Imagine
I
getting
Sign
one
you
up
on,
by
Judge.
the frickin' judge of all people. Inquisitor
Just let me say
Barnum.
that, Jovah.
If you'll remember, I recall you saying, "Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly there would be evidence of such a struggle."
Yeah. Remember, Jovah, when we had to point out why the lieutenant was the only one that could have opened his locker, even though everybody in the court knows it, and yet somehow Phoenix has to do it, otherwise he gets penalized. So it's just...
And
So
since
at
we
least this
haven't
judge
found
does
any,
it.
that must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene.
Yeah.
I'll give Rice and the Ashes credit. That was part of cornering Marshall in that regard as well, as opposed to it having to be proven to the court. And basically, obviously, you get penalized if you said the wrong thing, so I'd say it evens out. Then the killer could have committed the crime through a small portal, big enough to put their arms through after all. Once again, Emeer comes to my rescue.
Objection! That may be so, but tell me this. How would the culprit have managed to obtain such a strong soporific?
Oh, come on now, this one's easy.
Mailer.
It was very simple, and I think you've realized why.
I don't know, that timing seemed really perfect.
Mm-hmm.
From the alchemist.
There you go! See, you can figure it out too when you put your mind to it. That's right. An alchemist would no doubt have a wide array of various medicaments in their possession. Probably make anything from sleeping medicine to outright poison. And an apprentice would have little trouble stealing some of them from their study. Isn't that right, Miss Grey Earl?
You the pursuit casting magic theme.
Not yet.
How should I respond to that? I'm sorry to disappoint you. May perhaps be the best way to put it.
Oh, you smug
Sick
little...
burn, I guess.
What do you mean?
Even though that juice bottle has been safely stored for the past 3 months, I'm positive it would be impossible to find any traces of that soporific now, which means you would be relying on just hearsay.
You wicked.
This is unbelievable. Was it really the butler who did it?
How cliche.
But everything she says holds true.
She was pretending to be a boy. That's mighty suspicious to start with.
Is she a witch?
Well, speaking of witches,
Sorry.
Phoenix
Jesus.
just died again.
I wanted to try it.
Even Barnum too.
thank you, Siroy.
No, sure.
Even the
feel
judge. Everybody's fucking dead.
Sure.
Hold on, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Pedro.
Feel free to do it when she does it. That's not. I
Sure.
don't think anyone here objects.
Yeah.
The butler couldn't have done that to Sir Belduke. She would never, ever do it.
Oh.
And why is that so?
I refuse to let this cliche thing go on. It can't be the butler.
And who did it? The wind?
Yes. It was very strong that day and it
The
pushed him
Knight of
over.
the Wind.
Please, let us testify just one more time.
Oh, this ought to be exciting.
I wouldn't mind, but we need to keep him here for this.
Yes, we do, because who knows what else he'll lead us to the truth on.
Miss Grail, let's tell them. Let's prove they're wrong.
Yeah, I can imagine Barnum be like, Your Honor, I object. Why? Because it's destroying my case.
You have no idea how much you've done for Sir Belduke.
Miss Mailer?
Very Very well. I shall grant your request. Testify about the relationship between Miss Grayle and Sir Belduke. In the next part.
Or hopefully things will start to settle down. Oh, who am I kidding?
Yeah, sure.
At some point, the trial has to end.
Yeah.
Keep telling yourself that, Barnum. For all we know, this is all just in your head, and this is a recurring nightmare.
Yes,
All right.
Barnum is actually in a Truman Show type of reality.
If only. See you for the next part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.